Okay, so get this. We're going deep into Hollywood. This whole Diddy, Jada, Will Smith thing.
Okay.
CNN dropped this report,
Yeah.
and it's alleging like a whole secret world swirling around Sean Diddy Combs,
Right.
and it implicates Jada Pinkett Smith
Yeah.
Of course.
and maybe even Will Smith.
Oh, wow.
We're talking exclusive parties,
Yeah.
whispers of shady stuff, even underground tunnels.
Really?
Oh, yeah. This is going to get wild.
I'm intrigued.
So what's interesting is that this report doesn't just hint at like connections. It suggests a deep level of involvement
Yeah.
between Diddy and Jada.
Right.
Which, given their history, has everyone buzzing.
Oh, yeah. Everyone knows about their friendship, right? It's been a long-standing thing.
Right.
But when CNN uses this term, personal helper, to describe Jada's role in Diddy's world, that's sending off alarm bells.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
It's vague, almost like deliberately so.
Yeah.
Which just fuels speculation even more.
Right.
It raises questions about her influence, the nature of their relationship, what exactly she was doing for Diddy.
And then it gets even more unsettling when
Yeah.
you factor in the kind of parties Diddy was allegedly throwing.
Okay.
This is not like your average Hollywood get-together.
Right.
These are secret, exclusive gatherings, often in mansions connected by underground tunnels.
Tunnels? Okay, now that's where things take a turn for the bizarre.
And it's not just some random rumor, because Jaden Smith, Will, and Jada's son actually posted pictures of these tunnels on social media.
He did?
He did.
Wow.
And he called what he saw disturbing,
Oh, jeez.
describing these parties as something out of a horror movie with strange rituals and bizarre activities.
And the fact that he's a primary source.
Right.
Right. That lends a whole new level of credibility to these allegations against Diddy. It raises the question of what kind of environment was fostered at these gatherings, and what might Jaden's statements mean for Jada's potential involvement. Was she aware of what was happening?
Yeah, and he even mentioned these tunnels being used to transport young guests.
What?
Like Usher, Justin Bieber, without being seen.
Oh, wow. Which honestly sends chills down my spine.
Yeah.
You start to wonder, what were they trying to hide?
It's crucial to remember this isn't happening in a vacuum.
Right.
There have been whispers and allegations about Diddy's behavior towards younger artists for years.
Right.
In fact, back in 2013, a former music manager named James Roseman, he testified under federal investigation that Diddy had a history with minors.
Whoa. Okay, so there's this existing context
Right.
of potentially predatory behavior.
Yeah.
And then you have Jaden Smith describing these secret parties, the tunnels, the unsettling activities. It's no wonder people are drawing some pretty disturbing conclusions.
Exactly. This raises the stakes significantly.
Right.
If these allegations are true.
Yeah.
It suggests a deliberate attempt to create a hidden, controlled environment.
Right.
Which is deeply concerning.
Yeah.
And it brings us back to Jada.
Right.
What did she know? Was she complicit? Or was she being manipulated by Diddy as well?
Those are some heavy questions. And
Yeah.
honestly, it's a lot to process.
Yeah.
But before we get too deep into that, I think it's important to understand the power dynamics at play here.
Absolutely. To understand this situation, you need to understand the concept of a Hollywood blacklist.
Oh, yeah.
It's essentially a way to silence people,
Right.
to control careers, and potentially even ruin lives.
So if someone like Diddy wanted to, he could use his influence to essentially make or break someone's career.
That's the implication.
Wow.
A blacklist can be a powerful weapon
Right.
used to reward loyalty and punish those who step out of line. And that's where the allegations against Diddy and potentially Will Smith become truly frightening.
But where does Will fit into all of this? Up until now, it's mostly been about Jada and Diddy.
Right. Well, the reports suggest Will might be entangled in this web of alleged control and manipulation, too.
Oh, really?
He's been accused of using his influence in a similar way to Diddy,
Right.
promising access and opportunities to young artists in exchange for their loyalty. So we're talking about something far more calculated than just being like a tough mentor.
Exactly. It's just a pattern of systematically using their power to shape and control the careers of those around them.
Right.
Potentially even exploiting their vulnerability for personal gain.
And are there any like specific examples of this?
There are stories circulating
Yeah.
about actors and musicians who have allegedly tried to distance themselves
Okay.
from Diddy or Will, only to see their careers suffer.
Right.
Remember Brashear Y. Gray, the actor from the show Empire?
Oh, yeah. He was fantastic in that.
Right.
Whatever happened to him? I haven't seen him in anything lately.
Well, rumor has it that Gray tried to step away from Diddy and Will's circle. Maybe he felt uncomfortable with the dynamics, who knows.
Right.
But shortly after, his career took a nosedive.
Really?
He was suddenly dropped from Empire and has been pretty much off the radar since.
Are you suggesting he was blacklisted?
It's hard to say for sure,
Yeah.
but the timing is certainly suspicious. And that's what makes the concept of a blacklist so insidious.
Right.
It operates in the shadows with no official proof or documentation.
Oh, wow.
It's all about whispers and implied threats, making it nearly impossible to fight back.
So imagine you're a young, aspiring artist.
Right.
You finally get your big break.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're being pressured to conform to these unspoken rules, potentially even participate in things you're uncomfortable with.
Right.
All under the threat of having your career destroyed.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Absolutely. And that's why these allegations, if true, are so disturbing.
Right.
They paint a picture of a Hollywood system where power and exploitation are intertwined.
Yeah.
And where young talent can be easily manipulated and silenced.
So where does this leave Will Smith?
Right.
Was he aware of what was happening at Diddy's parties? Was he a part of this alleged system of control?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't have a clear answer. It's possible Will was a willing participant.
Okay.
Or maybe he was deliberately kept in the dark about the true nature of things.
Right.
Or maybe there's a whole other explanation we haven't even considered.
It's all just speculation at this point.
Exactly. We need to be careful not to jump to conclusions.
Right.
But even the speculation is unsettling.
Yeah.
Because it forces us to question the image we have of these figures.
Right.
And to acknowledge the potential for darkness lurking beneath the surface of Hollywood glamour.
It also makes you wonder if this alleged web of control extends beyond Diddy and Will.
Yeah.
Are there other powerful figures operating in the shadows, pulling strings and shaping narratives?
That's a chilling thought.
Yeah.
But it's certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
Hollywood is built on power and influence.
Right.
And it's not unreasonable to think that those who hold that power might be tempted to use it in ways that benefit themselves, regardless of the cost to others.
So before we dive into even more speculation, let's take a step back and recap what we know so far.
Okay.
We have Jada Pinkett Smith closely tied to Diddy, possibly acting as his personal helper in some capacity.
Right.
Then we have these unsettling allegations surrounding Diddy's parties. With Jaden Smith's firsthand accounts adding to the mystery and raising serious questions about the nature of those gatherings.
Right. And looming over it all is the question of Will Smith's involvement.
Right.
What did he know? What role did he play?
Yeah.
Was he a victim, a collaborator, or something else entirely?
Right.
It's a complex web, and we're only just starting to unravel it.
And speaking of complex webs, there's one more piece of this puzzle we need to address.
Okay.
The Oscar slap.
Oh, right.
Does any of this new information shed light on what happened that night?
That's an interesting question. And it's certainly something people have been debating ever since these new allegations surfaced.
Right.
Some are speculating that the slap might have been connected to this whole Diddy situation. Potentially even an act of retaliation or a desperate attempt to protect Jada.
Okay. I need you to break that down for me because I'm not sure I follow.
Okay.
How could a joke about Jada's shaved head be tied to this alleged underground world of power and manipulation?
Well, remember the slap happened after Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's appearance.
Right.
But what if the joke was more than just a joke?
Oh, okay.
What if it was a veiled threat?
Okay.
A deliberate attempt to provoke a reaction? Or maybe even an attempt to expose a secret?
So you're saying it's possible Chris Rock knew something? Maybe he stumbled into information he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And his joke was a way of sending a message or testing the waters.
It's a theory.
Right.
And it's certainly a dramatic one.
Yeah.
But it would explain the intensity of Will Smith's reaction. That wasn't just a playful slap. It was a statement, a display of raw emotion that seemed to go beyond the immediate context of the joke.
And if Diddy is as powerful and as ruthless as these reports suggest, maybe Chris Rock intentionally or unintentionally crossed a line he shouldn't have.
It's possible.
Maybe his joke hit a nerve, exposed a vulnerability.
Right.
Or threatened Diddy's carefully constructed image.
Exactly. And Will Smith, being close to both Jada and Diddy, might have felt caught in the crossfire.
Oh, wow.
He had to choose a side. And in that moment, he chose to defend his wife.
Right.
Even if it meant going against someone as powerful as Diddy.
Wow, this is getting more and more like a Hollywood thriller with every twist and turn.
It's a high-stakes game, and the stakes just got a lot higher.
Yeah.
But before we get carried away with theories,
Right.
I think it's important to remember that we're dealing with a lot of unknowns here.
Right.
We don't have all the pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And it's crucial to be cautious about drawing definitive conclusions.
Right. So what do we know for sure?
Okay.
What are the facts and what's still speculation?
Well, we know CNN published this report, right?
Uh-huh.
Alleging Jada's deep involvement with Diddy,
Right.
using that term personal helper, which is so vague.
Yeah.
Raises all these questions about the nature of their relationship.
All right.
And we have Jaden Smith's statements about Diddy's parties,
Right.
describing them as disturbing, talking about the use of tunnels for transporting guests.
Yeah.
These are firsthand accounts
Yeah.
from a credible source.
Right.
They definitely lend weight to the allegations.
And then there's that whole issue of the Hollywood blacklist.
Right.
This alleged system of control.
Uh-huh.
Diddy and potentially Will Smith are accused of using it
Right.
to manipulate and silence young artists.
That's where things get really murky. It's
Yeah.
all about whispers and implied threats.
Right.
So hard to prove.
So what happens next? Where does this story go from here?
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
These allegations are serious.
Right.
And if more evidence comes out,
Yeah.
there could be legal ramifications.
Right.
Diddy's reputation has already taken a hit. More people might come forward
Yeah.
now that it's all out in the open.
Could this be the beginning of the end for Diddy's empire?
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
His image is all about power and influence.
Right.
And these allegations directly challenge that.
Right.
If sponsors, collaborators start to distance themselves, his whole world could crumble.
What about Jada and Will?
Yeah.
Could their careers be damaged by this?
Hard to predict.
Uh-huh.
You know, they've both built successful careers.
Right.
They have loyal fan bases.
Uh-huh.
But this scandal is unlike anything they've faced before.
Right.
How they respond, how transparent they are,
Yeah.
whether they address these allegations directly could really impact their future in Hollywood.
It's crazy to think that something as simple as a joke at the Oscars
I know.
could unravel this whole web.
I know. It speaks to how interconnected Hollywood is.
Yeah.
How everything is intertwined.
Right.
Even a seemingly insignificant moment can have huge consequences.
So what does this mean for the rest of us? You know, those of us who aren't caught up in the Hollywood whirlwind.
I think it's a reminder that power can be intoxicating. Even those we see as untouchable
Yeah.
can be caught up in these systems of manipulation and abuse.
It's also a reminder to be critical of what we see and hear.
Right.
Especially when it comes to celebrity culture.
Absolutely.
Things aren't always what they seem.
Nope.
There are often hidden stories and agendas at play.
Definitely.
We often put celebrities on a pedestal,
Right.
forgetting they're human with their own complexities, flaws, vulnerabilities.
It's easy to forget that.
This whole deep dive has been wild.
It is.
We started with rumors and whispers,
Yeah.
ended up exploring some serious allegations.
About power manipulation. The dark side of Hollywood.
It's a story that raises more questions than answers.
It really does.
And it'll probably continue unfolding for months, maybe years to come.
Yeah, you never know with these things.
Well, we're about out of time. But before we go, I want to leave you with one thought.
Okay.
If these allegations are true,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder,
Right.
how much of what we see in Hollywood is real?
Right.
How much is a facade to hide a darker truth?
It's a sobering thought.
Yeah.
And it should make us all more discerning
Right.
about the media we consume.
Question the narratives.
Absolutely.
We want to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Head to our social media.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think is really going on here.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
Until next time, keep digging, keep questioning.
Keep searching for the truth.
We'll see you then.
If you enjoyed this video and want to dive deeper into more cases like this one, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to like the video if you found the story compelling, and share it with your friends and family who might be interested in true crime and mysteries. By subscribing, you'll stay up to date with all our latest content and join a growing community of curious minds exploring the most fascinating cases. Click the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything.